Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. We also read all the comments you leave on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments section. Tell us what content you'd like to see on the Anchor Daily News channel. And now let us begin if you're ready. Anchor Daily News reports. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to spill across borders into Russia's internal regions. Recent events reveal that this war's entered a new phase. A large-scale drone attack by Ukrainian forces on 9 regions of Russia has been described as one of the most massive attacks of all time, according to statements from Moscow. In a statement released by the Russian Defense Ministry, it was claimed that in response to the Ukrainian attack with 144 unmanned aerial vehicles, Russian air defense systems destroyed all of them. It was announced that these attacks were most intense in the Bryansk, Moscow, Kursk, Tula, Belgorod, Kaluga, Voronezh, Lipetsk, and Oryol regions. It stated that 72 unmanned aerial vehicles were shot down over this region, especially in the attacks targeting Bryansk. While 20 drones were destroyed in the Moscow region, it is seen that the attack seriously affected Russia's military and civilian air traffic. This large-scale attack on Moscow has severely disrupted daily life in the capital, according to the mayor of Moscow, Sergei Sobyanin. At least 14 drones were neutralized in the Ramenskoye, Podolsk, Domozhedova, Lubetsy, and Kolomna districts. However, the operations of major airports around Moscow came to a standstill. Zhukovsky Airport's runway was damaged by the impact of a drone, and landing and takeoff operations were halted. Flights were also suspended at Vnukovo, Domozhedova, and Sheremetyevo airports, the other major airports serving the city. These measures were implemented as part of the defense measures against drones in Moscow's airspace. The damage to the Zhukovsky Airport, one of Russia's most important transportation hubs, has severely affected flights flying to and from Moscow. Following the attack, flight traffic in the region was temporarily suspended and the airport was in chaos. According to local news sources, the damage to Zhukovsky's runway was repaired in a short matter of time, but security measures around the airport are still in place. The fact that Ukraine has carried out such a large-scale attack on Moscow has made the effects of the war in the capital even more evident. Following the attacks, anxiety began to spread among the residents of Moscow. Images of unmanned aerial vehicles flying over the capital at dawn quickly spread on social media platforms. Many users shared footage of the attacks, revealing the chaos of the morning hours. Such attacks on Russia's airspace are seen as an attempt to increase pressure on Moscow, both psychologically and strategically. Although Moscow's defenses repelled this attack, events show that Ukraine is developing new strategies to change the course of the war. By shifting its attacks directly to Russian territory, the Kyiv administration aims to strike both military and civilian targets. The unmanned aerial vehicle attacks carried out in this context threaten Russia's internal security, forcing the Moscow administration to take new defense measures. Russia's defense systems claim to have neutralized all 144 unmanned aerial vehicles by working effectively against large-scale drone attacks. However, such attacks are forcing Moscow to make significant changes in its military defense strategies. The fact that the attacks took place in many regions raises questions about the extent and strength of Russia's air defense systems. For example, the destruction of 20 unmanned aerial vehicles in the Moscow region and 14 in the Kursk region demonstrates the effectiveness of the defense measures taken in these regions. However, these large-scale attacks also clearly show that Russia needs to develop more effective defenses against such threats. If Russia's critical military and civilian infrastructure continues to be targeted by such large-scale Ukrainian operations, Moscow's internal security could face more serious threats. Therefore, The steps Russia takes to strengthen its defenses and to detect and prevent attacks in advance could determine the course of the war in the coming period. The consequences of such a large-scale attack on Russia are not yet fully clear. However, the fact that the intensity of the war shows that Ukraine is capable of launching such powerful attacks could be an important signal for the future of the war. Ukraine's offensive strategy aims to create more havoc in Russia's interior and force Russia to reconsider its defense strategies. In the coming days, the consequences of these attacks will become clearer and will provide new clues about the direction of the war. The impact of the attacks on Moscow is being carefully monitored both within Russia and internationally. At this critical stage of the war, the moves made by both sides are likely to have a direct impact on the future of the conflict. Although Russia's leader Putin and the team he works closely with deny the damages after each attack, the reality is quite different. The Ukrainian army's heavy targeting of airline and road traffic, especially in Russia, has shattered the perception of psychological superiority in Russia. This points to tougher days ahead for Russia. What do you think? How is it possible for the Ukrainian military to launch drone strikes that reach Russia's hinterland? Why are Russian air defense systems not enough to prevent these strikes? Why are Russia's air defenses struggling to completely stop Ukrainian drones, especially in critical cities like Moscow? Does this indicate a weakness in Russia's defense strategies? Let us know in the comments. We read and care about your opinions.